Hey guys, I'm back for another cooking demo. Last week, I talked to you about my blueberry pie and told you a little bit why pies were important on both sides of my family. Today, I'm going to make for you one of my signature dishes. So it's something that I'm known for, and that is my mac and cheese. So if I get invited over for cookouts or holidays, they say bring your mac and cheese. It's a white cheese sauce and it has bacon in it, so it can't go wrong. But I'm not here to cook alone today. I have a special guest that's back with me today. I'm very excited, back by popular demand, Chef Weidert-Green.
Thank you very much.
We sent our video into Food Network and they didn't respond. I don't know why.
Well, they don't have no taste, that's why.
Guess not.
That's why we have Miss Tastery. Tastery.
I think we've just figured out why they didn't respond. Okay. Alright, so for mac and cheese, the first thing that you're going to do is start with some boiling water. Now to this water, I have added some salt. This is the only chance that you have to season your pasta, and this goes for anything, spaghetti, whatever, you want to salt your water after it's boiling.
For good luck.
Okay, we're going to need it.
Sea salt.
Okay, I've got 16 ounces of just elbow macaroni. You could use whole wheat if you wanted to make it a little healthier. This is just the plain stuff. So we're going to go ahead and add this to the water. Another important step is I have it on high. If I leave it on high, it's going to probably boil over. So I'm going to turn the heat down just a little bit. And then you want to... and then you want to give it a stir. Because if you, thank you. Because if you don't, then it'll all clump together. So we've got our pasta.
Then she wouldn't be invited back to have her famous mac and cheese if she all
Right. And we're not going to put the lid fully on because it'll bubble over.
That's right.
So
I usually do
leave it
that myself.
Yeah, so according to the back of the box here,
Chip ahoy.
according to this, it means that you're going to boil it for 9 to 11 minutes.
She popped back instantly.
Okay, so while our water is going with our pasta in it, I've also started our oven to 400 degrees because after we make it, I like to put breadcrumbs and Parmesan cheese on the top and put it in the oven and let it get like this crust that's lovely, crunchy, buttery, so good. Okay, so now we're going to start on our cheese sauce. So I'm going to turn my pan onto about a medium heat here. Okay, so to this pan, I'm going to add 4 ounces of the white queso Velveeta. That's a good starting place. If you want it a little cheesier, you can always add more to it.
Don't be cheesy.
Don't be cheesy. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's on a little bit. So we've got our mac and we've got our cheese added. The next thing that we're going to add to this is our butter. And we want 4 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to tell you now, this is not a healthy recipe. It's boiling over, isn't it?
I am so hot right now.
Yep, take the lid completely off. Take it off.
Thank you, because my fingers was burning.
Yep, and go ahead and give it a stir. That's why we don't put the lid on. Tried to tell them. Okay, so we're going to add 4 tablespoons of butter here. Again, this is not a healthy recipe. The mac and cheese isn't supposed to be healthy. So we, sometimes in life, just need a little bit of comfort food, and it's okay in moderation, right?
I have a lot of comfort.
You have a lot of comfort. Now, my secret ingredient, and if you have this, it's great. If you don't, that's fine. That just tells me our oven's ready. So, he did something. My secret ingredient is bacon grease. Bacon grease is lovely, and I'm going to add about a tablespoon of it into my cheese sauce here. That bacon grease adds a smokiness to it that like you just don't get from anything else. I use bacon grease in my chili, in my cornbread. I use it a lot for some comfort food. It's a good thing. You just save it whenever you cook bacon. Okay, so now we've got butter and we've got cheese. So we need some more fat in there to kind of loosen everything up. So we're going to add to that. You're going to add some fat?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to add to that some of this half and half. So on my recipe, it says that I need a cup. So a cup of half and half. Again, not a low-fat recipe, but oh so very delicious. So half and half here. Got a cup of that into my saucepan. And then we're going to add some sour sour cream to it. That sour cream just really makes it extra creamy. And what? Sour cream makes it creamy. So you laughing at me there? Sour cream makes it creamy. Okay, so I'm gonna add a cup of sour cream to this as well, and just give it a little rough cup here.
Must be working because the elbows are moving.
The elbows are moving. All right, so now we've got our sour cream in there. Maybe it's a messy job.
It's all on the spoon, so you might want to move the spoon next time you do it.
No, you'll stir it. It's all good. Okay, so now I've got my cheese sauce, and you gotta just work that together. It's over that medium heat. If you get it too hot, it's gonna scorch to the bottom, and it's gonna make it's gonna make your cheese taste burnt. So it's kind of a little bit of a slow process getting this cheese sauce going, because that's all right. Okay, so now it's starting to incorporate a little bit. I'm just whisking it. If you whisk it too fast, kiddos, then you're gonna have your milk sloshed out, your half and half, and we don't want that.
No, this is a nice side. This is the sloppy side, you can tell.
Yeah, okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is we are going to add some flavor to this. So I told you I'm obsessed with this garlic pepper, nothing has changed. I'm gonna add a tablespoon of that into it. And really that's the only seasoning I use other than the cheeses. So now I've got this Parmesan cheese, and I'm gonna add 1/4 of a cup of this Parmesan cheese to it. Again, it's like a rough, like not an exact 1/4 of a cup. Sometimes I add a little bit more cheese. I know. Cooking facts, Cooking facts, one of my biggest challenges is I don't use recipes. I know what it is, so I've had to like really pay attention to what I'm doing to write down a recipe. And then I've got 1/4 of a cup of mozzarella cheese too. Cheese, and then a little bit more cheese. And then the star of the show here, the bacon. Okay,
can't go wrong with bacon.
You can't go wrong with bacon, that's for sure. So we're gonna add 1/4 of a cup of this bacon as soon as I can figure out how to get it open. Struggling with life. How's your pasta going over there?
Good.
It's going good,
See,
right?
when you become a mature chef like we are here, you know, pretty soon you start to feel the food. Not with your fingers, but inside, as she said.
Okay, so there's 1/4 of a cup of bacon. And again, I poured a little bit more. It's fine. Okay, so now, ooh, do you smell the bacon grease and the bacon now and the cheese?
Yeah. It's
beautiful. Okay, so this will make a nice thick cheese sauce. We're just gonna wait till it's all melted together and all gooey and our pasta is done. So we'll be back in just a second. Okay, so our pasta is done.
Already?
Yeah, it's magic. And we have strained it. Do not rinse your pasta. I repeat, do not rinse your pasta. It takes out all the starch, and the starch is what binds the cheese to the noodle. You do not want to do that. All right, so now we've got our pasta, and we're going to add our cheese sauce just straight into that pasta, just like so. Get all that goodness. That cheese sauce is lovely, okay? I know, that white yummy cheese sauce. Okay, and the next thing that we're going to do is give it a little stir. Now, one thing that you can do if it looks like you kind of want it, because pasta is going to soak up that cheese sauce, so you want it a little bit runnier than you would like to eat it. So if you look at it and it's just barely coating the noodles, or you have just not enough, then you want to add some more half and half to it a little bit. But if you look here, I'm going to try to get a little bit closer here. But if you look in here, yum. This right here, it's pretty soupy. You can't see, there we go. It's pretty soupy, and that's kind of the consistency that you want. Okay, so now for the next thing that we do is we're going to grease this pan. So can you just spray that with some cooking spray, please?
I shall be spraying.
Yes, and my parents have a granite countertop, so my kids, whenever I scream about not putting pans on the counter, they have that granite. I said that's the only counter that you can do that with. So at home, don't put the pan straight on the counter unless you have granite. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to hold it. Will you come scoop out the mac and cheese?
I can.
Because this is heavy.
Okay. We take it 1, 2, We're almost there.
Almost there?
Almost there.
Okay.
Those little noodles keep falling.
There we go.
Awesome.
Alright, so now I've got this yummy mac and cheese in here. Again, I told you you want it just a little bit soupier than you would like it when it's done because it's going to soak up. So next thing we're going to do to this is, like I said, I like that crunchy topping. We're going to use 2 tablespoons of Italian seasoned breadcrumbs. So we're just going to sprinkle that on top.
Now that's Italian.
There's one. Do another one. And then we're going to sprinkle 2 tablespoons of this Parmesan cheese on top. More cheese. You want to do that one? Okay.
It's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure. Can he do it, ladies and gentlemen?
I don't want to get cheesy on you.
Doesn't that look good?
It does.
I love that crunchy topping. There you go.
Oh la la.
I know. So this is the mac and cheese that people like me to bring places. If you want to, you can sprinkle a little bit more bacon on the top so that people kind of know what's in there, but you can smell the bacon.
That's the only reason he gets invited to fun places, for her mac and cheese.
My mac and cheese. Okay, we're going to put this in the oven, 450, for just 10 minutes just to get that top and that crust going. Okay? All right. Our timer is going off, so we're ready to take our mac and cheese out of the oven now. So again, be careful. Stand back for just a second. Ooh, it's bubbling.
Oh, the bells, the bells.
The bells, the timer. All right. It's bubbling and it is golden brown on the top, and it looks just so delightful.
Whoa!
I know. What do you think?
Woo! That looks nice.
Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to dig in. But first I have to take a picture, so 1 second. Alright, so now we're going to try this. Well, I know what it tastes like, but you ready? Okay, so it's nice and cheesy. It's gooey in the middle. It's got that crunchy topping on it on top.
I see bacon.
I see bacon. Okay, so here we go. I love the white cheese versus just the cheddar because it adds a sharpness to it.
Oh, these noodles have been heated by water perfectly by somebody. Yeah, a little cheesy.
It's good. Adds a crunchy topping on it too.
It is.
And the bacon.
You got softness, gooiness, hardness. What else is there?
Those are technical names, guys. Very good use of adjectives.
That's the way Chef Boyardee rolls.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in again.
Would you like a bite?
And students of mine, your assignment this week is to show me your signature dish. And if you don't have one, I want you to look and find one and create a signature dish. So something you're passionate about. Mine was mac and cheese. All right. Bye, guys.
We all like that.
Okay, one more thing. So Dad and I were sitting here, we're like, I wonder if this would be good on top. So he's got some crispy onions, like the French's onions, or these are actually the Walmart brand garlic pepper onions. We put them on salads because they're good. He just topped this mac and cheese with that. So if you love onions and you're wanting something else, it's magical. Throw some on top if you like onions. Good job, Dad.